Hey y'all, it's Maddie Anners. Here's my ID, and here are my speaking notes. And did y'all know over 6 to 8 million animals each year, dogs and cats, are taken into shelters? And this leads to the euthanizing of 2.7 million of these animals being, animals are put down because there's not enough space in these shelters. And out of those animals, 5,500 dogs in just one day are put down because no one is adopting these animals, so there's not enough space for these animals to keep coming into these places, and it just leads to sadness. Now let's put that into perspective and realize that this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is what is said, this is what's found. Do we really know what really the true numbers are to this though? There could be more. But growing up, I've always realized that I've loved animals, that I've always wanted to help animals in any way I could. And now I have many pets, 3 pit bulls actually from the Humane Society that I have adopted. And I would show y'all them, but they are currently asleep on the couch. But for this essay, I've decided to talk about the Wiregrass Humane Society and why you should and how you can help in any ways you can. Looking to adopt instead of shopping is always a great way to start. Adopt, don't shop is a phrase known around by everybody, just like how you should adopt animals instead of shopping for certain breeds or certain pets that you'd want. Adoption is much cheaper than buying from breeders or puppy mills, which I know is a way for some people to make money, but it's still a much cheaper option and safer for some of these animals involved. Many people buy from mills or breeders looking for specific breeds of animals, but the truth is, if you shopped, you can find the exact breed that you're looking for, or you can find a completely different breed that you never thought that you would ever think of having. But I never thought that I would have 3 pit bulls in my lifetime, but you just end up falling in love with with even multiple of them, but you fall in love with that one that you know that you just can't get rid of. But puppy mills are also very dangerous for some of these animals involved. These shelters are a much safer place, especially the Wiregrass Humane Society. It's a safer place for these animals. Some breeders, some are just in it for the money and does not care what happens to the animals that are bought or who they sell them to. Also, you get to save an animal's life if you adopt, like especially from not the Humane Society, but some of these other shelters out around the world that are kill shelters. You can adopt these animals and give them a good family, and show them that love does exist for these babies. I know it's sad, but the Humane Society, we also make sure that the animals are good, healthy before we give them up for adoption. We make sure all the animals are up to date on all their vaccines and all their medications. We make sure that we do give a background check of the family, a background check before we let them adopt the animals. We spay and neuter all of the pets there. We also microchip them, so in case you adopt from there and something happens and they get loose, you can set the chip up and you'll always know where they're at. We also make sure that the animal is in a good and healthy mindset before we give them up, because it can be rough being stuck in a kennel. I mean, I'd be crazy too if I was locked up. But we also make sure that the pet that you're looking to adopt is a good fit for you. And if you were to have any other pets at your house, such as how we did, we had another pit bull when we went to go adopt Maddie. We had a meet and greet with her before we adopted her to make sure she was a good fit for our other dog Trigger and us as a family. So we make sure that all that's in order. We also make sure that these animals are happy and healthy mentally and physically, make sure they're all up to date on everything before giving them up for adoption. But funny story, I'm just going to get off track for a second, about the Humane Society is we recently, my parents and I, we have a little schnauzer that got out, and she ended up in Wicksburg. But before that, she actually ended up at the Humane Society, and they took care of her and had her microchipped and everything before we found her again. So that just shows that we really do take care of our animals, because she was happy and healthy and everything before we found her again. But anyways, but why should you really support the Humane Society other than the other options that are out there, or the reasons that are out there? Is because it's a great place where we bring in strays and how we take care of our animals up there, including we pull from the pound in case we have any other openings, like any of the kennels that are open, we will pull from the pound and take those. Like today, we recently pulled a cat today from the pound and brought her here to the Humane Society. We also make sure that all of the animals are taken care of, which I know I've said that a lot, but we make sure all of them are taken care of, even the ones with that need special care, certain medicines, certain food, or certain rules like playing outside. We make sure that everything's in order there. We take donations for the animal shelter. We take volunteers. We'll take foods, blankets, toys, anything like that is always a great way to help. We hold events for donations and adoptions, such as PetSmart. I'm not sure if we still do that, but there's adoption events. There's also a thrift store in Dothan called Second Chance, and all those profits from that place come to the Humane Society, and you can drop off donations there, such as the food and everything, and we'll bring it to the Humane Society. Adopting local helps the community and the animals in this community. The 6 to 8 million animals that are in these shelters, and the few animals that we have in the shelter right now need anyone's help. They need a loving home. They want a loving home. They want a loving family, because all those puppies and cats up there need it. They're the sweetest little things that y'all would ever meet. I promise. But anyway, anybody could ever help, that would be great. The Humane Society is always a great place to adopt from, and it's a great opportunity to get to work there. And yeah, but it doesn't just help doing the donations and everything, doesn't just help the animals in need, but it also helps you be a better person, and by serving the community and helping these animals. But yeah, so I mean, everyone needs a little fur baby.